as many people are submitting questions, we do have a lot to go through. Are we still doing okay on audio, guys? I don't know if we are or not. I'm going to go ahead and move forward with the understanding that we are still, yeah, oh, really?
Can you hear us?
Can we get confirmation whether we can, if the community can hear the audio?
Okay, Ashma, I think we are live.
Okay, I think we are fine now, correct?
All right. Well, we're going to give this a go. Can't guarantee it's going to work this time. We're having a lot of audio problems, guys. So we'll go ahead and start with this again. It is August 1st. It is 1950 UTC. We're running about 20 minutes behind due to some technical audio problems. We do believe we have it solved now, hopefully. Go ahead and run down with who's all here. Today's call, it's going to be myself, Asmoth, Global Coordinator, Damon, Marketing Coordinator, Master Den, Global Coordinator, Nash Clay, User Support Coordinator, Paintballer, Community Relations Coordinator, Robert Bacher, IE Coordinator, as well as The Revolution, who is also an IE Coordinator, Ruru, our Software Development Coordinator, and Undertow, our Editor Coordinator. That's who we've got today. We're going to move on to letting you know about the questions. We were inundated, guys, by all of your questions. We're absolutely thrilled to see how many questions were being asked. With all of those questions, it might be a little bit tough to get them all answered in this call due to both the sake of time and also the fact that some of these we might need to get confirmation on. We do not want to give bad information. We'd rather take, a few hours, a few days and ensure that we have 100% accurate info if we can't answer them on the fly. What I can assure you of is that we'll go ahead and answer them on a frequently asked questions or something. Are we still having audio problems, guys, or are we? Apologize if the stream is still live here, but we're trying to figure out if we're still experiencing problems or not. Okay, sounds like it's good. All right, great. So questions, again, we're going to go ahead and answer those no matter what. We will get to them. Please don't hesitate to continue submitting them. Eventually, we're going to have a lot of these banked together on a frequently asked questions, as I mentioned, or something, so that we can refer a lot of people to questions that maybe you didn't even think of that somebody else did, that now you'll have even more information on this project that we are all involved in. So we'll go ahead and move on. We're going to go ahead and work on the foundation. We've got both Robert as well as The Revolution in here. I don't know which one of you guys wants to take it, but let's go ahead and see what we've got going on the foundation.
Yeah, so hi guys, this is Robert Bacher. Most of you guys know me, and Bob is also in the house. So lately we have been busy on, working on the foundation, the Articles of Association. As you guys know, the foundation is really important also for the project. we have a big pre-mine, and Electra 01 agreed with us when we established the foundation, we can get a part of the pre-mine, which is 300 million Electra. So in order to do that, we have to set up a foundation. We have created the Articles of Association, wherein we describe how we like to govern the foundation, who will be the board members, what kind of rules we are going to insert in it. And currently we have submitted the articles to a law firm in Amsterdam, who is going to review it and helps us and guides us along the way in setting up the foundation. We have chosen for Holland to establish the foundation because of the very positive tax climate in general, but also in relation to cryptocurrency. The foundation will be tax exempt as well as for for the general holding, but also for donations, which is of course very good. Let me see, what else can I say? The law firm, they confirm to us when everything goes well and smooth and they don't have to make too many tailored changes to the articles, that the foundation can be set up in a matter of 5 to 10 days. They're currently reviewing our articles, and once they believe everything is ready to go to the notary, it will go there and the board members will sign for the establishment of the foundation. So everything is looking good. Once it's set up, it will be announced properly, of course, to every one of you, and we can receive the part of the pre-mine from Electra 01. And obviously, the articles that we have created will be also shared with the community on our website, and it will be, of course, shared through an announcement. So that's basically the updates from Bob and my side on the establishment of the Electra Foundation.
Perfect. Thank you, Robert. We're going to move on to the next item on the agenda here. Is we've gotten questions regarding WinElectra. WinElectra was kind of the brainchild of Maverick. Maverick, most of you probably already know by now because he has been in chats and everything. He's got some personal things going on that has made it basically really tough for him to participate right now. That was kind of his deal. He had asked me to basically, remove the rooms temporarily and postpone it and see what would happen. So any kind of competitions that he's got going on right now are currently on hold. We are in communication with him, and if it gets to the point to where he's unable to continue them, in a reasonable amount of time, we can certainly look at trying to form something and take that baton from him and move on forward with that. But in the meantime, let's give him a little bit of time, a little bit of space, see if he can regroup and allow him to be part of what he actually started. If he's ready to hand that over, we can certainly look at it, as I said. But he's saddened, pretty bummed out that this situation has happened. He's looking forward to hopefully being able to participate more. So that's kind of the status with any kind of those competitions and WinElectra. As a community, we're always open to looking to doing more stuff like this. Anyhow, it just happens to be his project. So volunteers, just going to run over that real quick. We do have a help wanted channel. It's down there under, I think, the business category. There are applications that we do have posted in there for people that might be interested in seeing where we could use some help. However, we all get busy. And knowing that, it does not hurt to drop a line to somebody whom you know or trust or want to throw your ideas out to. If you find a mod or, coordinator, global coordinator, however, if you feel like you have some good skills in an area, feel free to contact us. Every single one of us would be happy to hear from you And if there's an application currently out, we can steer you to it. And if there's not, you know, we can still discuss it, because we're always growing and we're always needing, you know, to fill gaps. It's a very fluid organization where people are moving between roles at times. You know, people get busy in life, people open up and have free time in life. So, you know, if you asked a month before and we didn't need something in that area, we might now. Let's go ahead and move towards finance. Master Den, finance updates, exchanges, partnerships, all of that type of stuff. How are we doing on that?
Okay. Hello, guys. This is Master Dan. You know, we are working on several exchanges. We have applications, but on the other hand, we have an ongoing fork. As told in our earlier engineering course, this fork will change our code base. That means we will have to update our wallets on the exchanges as well. So as much as exchanges we have in our list, that will require more work. But on the other hand, we explained as well that in case we will receive one of the higher volume exchanges an opportunity before the fork, we will go with them. Please stay tuned about it. There might happen something. We don't promise anything else, but until the fork, we try to just keep the exchanges as we have the list at the moment. But anything can happen, I can tell you. Just for that, wait our announcements. Regarding to partnerships, that you know, today there was a leak, a small surprise that the surprise is broken. In fact, we wanted to give this, announce it as a surprise. That was the third one, the third ATM network with which we were dealing since maybe around 1 month time. And today they integrated EC into their code base. That's a General Bytes. And General Bytes, they have around 1,800, if I'm not wrong, ATMs worldwide already installed and in operation. That means with the update of General Bytes software to these ATMs, each individual ATM operator can be a single one, or at the same time maybe 10 or 12 or 15 or 50 even. You may see ECA inside on these ATM machines. So earlier we were getting a lot of comments like we are only going with ICO projects, but now you can see that this is a clear application and real product working on the market. So you will be able to see ECA more and more in the upcoming nearest future. Besides those, we have for sure more upcoming news, but as usual, we want to finalize each, let's say, cooperation or collaboration with the projects, and then we want to announce them once everything is ready and both sides agree on certain, let's say, NDA conditions or other things. Those are the major, let's say, headlines which I wanted to give. But I can later on just answer the questions in our list. Ashmont?
Thank you, Master Dan. Let's move on to Nash Clay, which is our user support coordinator, and see what we've got going on there.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So all I really have to add for you guys today is basically we just have a user support side coming up here, and we'll get you the link here very shortly, probably in an announcement. But it's going to be a separate link that's going to provide you just more documentation, information, frequently asked questions, you name it, it's going to be on there. And sometimes, you know, our support team is not available to answer your messages. So this way will give us more of a direct answer and a direct support just for you personally. And that's about it from me, Azimuth.
Okay, guys, I also want to point out, or at least recognize, not only do a lot of you already recognize by seeing how incredible our user support team is, just by being in the help support channel or in other channels when you see it happen. And we get comments on that all the time. User support for Electrocoin is incredible. I want to take it a step further and say that there's, user support has their own channels where they work on things in the background. And I'm privy to being able to see a lot of them working through problems that you may not even know exist because they haven't gone to help support, or it's such an obscure problem that they're working on it. And these guys really deserve a lot more recognition than they get. Their talent is amazing. The levels and the depths that they're willing to go to solve the problems that people are having is great. So I just want to take a moment to make sure that everybody does realize that, because there's a lot more that goes on than most people can even see in this realm. And I think that is a tremendous key factor for us, because there are so many people that I see coming from other areas that basically say, it's a great coin, it's a great project, yada, yada, but we can't get support, but we can't get this work, we can't get that, nobody's ever available. Our team is phenomenal, and we're very fortunate to have that, and I think it's a big plus for us as well. Development updates, we're going to let Ruru take the mic here for everything that we got going on there.
Hi, everyone. I hope you are all well and looking forward to this engineering call. I've got quite a bit to say, so be patient. I'm going to just give a bit of a brief outline of where we're at and what has been going on. So listen up and hopefully you take it all in. I'm sure some of it, what I say, you might not agree with, and some you might agree with. So Electra is an open source community project, and we all know that Electra One is the co-founder, and today he is still with the project, and not like many other cryptocurrency projects out there. He has always been transparent about the pre-mine and what it is going to be used for. This is not something new, and as an investor or a community member, if you did your due diligence, you would have known this fact. And yes, we have had key members leave because of this. It's a decision that each person can make, whether to invest or not to invest. It's all about your own morals and what you believe in. The team that's still with us today, as we are very passionate about the project, and it is not a big deal for us, and we have our reasons for that. So he is an investor, and he did. He's got the pre-mine. If you need the addresses at any point in time, we can give you those addresses. If you want to see what's happening, that's not a problem. It's all about transparency. As Robert mentioned, with the setup of the foundation, one of the things that we wanted to do is have access to some of the pre-mine funds. And this is what we are busy doing. And we will have access to some of the pre-mine funds. Not all of it, but it is a start. And that does not mean that this is just a once-off and the rest we do not have access to. This is the start. So we are moving forward on that side. So the pre-mine will be used for Electra. And in fact, today, EO1 has paid for many things from the pre-mine. Some questions. Did you know that E1 had to submit a KYC for an Electra listing? Something to think about. So maybe not so anonymous as we might think. Maybe some of the core members do know who he is. Maybe one day he will let us know who he is. And from a personal point of view, sometimes I wish I stayed more anonymous, but we do what we have to do. Other things that you don't know might be that we had a bug in the desktop wallet when it was initially released, and we actually lost almost 160 million ECA, which is a vast amount and critical. He bailed us out, and he basically paid all the community members back those missing ECAs. With regards to the staking rewards, yes, EO1 is staking the B mine. They are for his personal use. He's always made that very clear. What it means, he wants the right to be able to decide how he wants to use those staking rewards. It might be for the future of Electra or whatever he chooses. That is a decision he has made as an investor. Okay, so that's a little bit about that very hot topic. As far as the max supply goes, in fact, that there is a 50% staking reward means that we do have to implement the fork. Yes, there have been delays in the fork, and I will go into that in a little bit more detail later. But there has been quite a lot of technical and financial discussions around the fork and what we need to do. Just an interesting fact, did you know that POS coins do not have a max supply implemented in their code, as this could possibly cause the blockchain to freeze? We are also looking at how we're going to implement the master nodes and we've got to look at other things like how is going to influence the networking, the weights, how will it affect the people that are staking through the desktop wallets? So master nodes are in the planning phase. We are looking at the max supply. We will have answers. If there are any questions, please do ask. We don't always have all the answers because we are also discussing and looking at the best way. But if you have good ideas, and it's not a matter of, okay, we've got 50% staking. We want to carry on doing the 50% staking because it's good for our pockets. But we need to look at Electra in the future, the business model of Electra and how it will survive. So a community project is completely different to a business in that there are no structures. Sorry about that. I'm working on a very, very slow laptop, so I just want to. There are no. Sorry, that is me. So there are no directors, there are no CEOs, there are no managers. But what we do need leaders. And the people that are in the core team have made individual decisions to try and help lead and direct the project. It doesn't mean that we have got power, doesn't mean that we have got more say, but we have taken the initiative and taken the responsibility to try and make Electra work. So that is finding partnerships, working with exchanges, trying to find developers, trying to find a business use case for the project. And we do believe in the project, otherwise we would not be here today. Leaders are important because that's what basically makes a project move forward. It is important that the community has a very clear understanding of what the goals are, and so that everyone can do their bit for this great community that we do have. So it might be marketing on social media or helping out with admin tasks, development, technical support, or even creating your own businesses around Electra. It might be that we force you to vote every day for an exchange like Shardex. The important thing is the community must do their bit to help out, as big or small as it may be. As you know, I have been part of this project for a few months, and one of the most challenging aspects is time. Some people have professional commitments, personal commitments that will consume their time. So it's not always possible for them to spend consistent time on a project like this. And it does make it challenging to onboard new people for the knowledge transfers or even to get the correct people to communicate with each other. So time is really a big challenge. So the more time you can give to the project, the better that we will make progress. Also, we are working with blockchain technology, which can be very technical. So you might have the skills, you might have the marketing skills, you might be able to understand social media, but there's a lot of technical aspects that you need to understand about blockchain. And that is an incredible steep learning curve to understand a lot of the technical components of blockchain. So most people, when they come in, they have to go through the steep learning curve and understand how it works. Often, we know the cryptocurrency world works completely differently to any other industry out there. But what we can say is when someone does contribute to the project, we completely value what they achieve on the project, no matter how big or small. So what I'm going to say, as you all know, Ivan, okay, I've just lost my place. I've actually just got points that I wanted to follow. Ivan has been very key to the project. He joined Electra and he made it very clear in the beginning that, he'll be a full-time developer on the Electra project. He's not earning an income, but he would dedicate his time because he believed in the project. The time has come that he needs an income and he needs to be able to do something else. So that is one of the reasons that he has left the project. Ivan was very key in, the Electra desktop development. When we did the new desktop wallet, he became very involved in the technical aspects of it and in the development of it. He worked day and night on this desktop wallet to get it released. And he thereafter, basically, he took some time off, and he took about a month off just to relax after all the hard work that he did. And he carried on doing some more development on the other projects, like the mobile wallet. And so he has been involved, but not as much as he was initially. So he's been slowly weaning himself off some of the projects. And unfortunately, he has said that he can no longer work on Electra. We do wish him well. We wish him the best in the future, and maybe he will go out and do his own blockchain development or compose some beautiful music. We do wish him the best. In saying that, we do have a role that we're looking for someone that can do some development on the Electra desktop wallet for the atomic swap. So there is a bit of a gap there. So anyone with React.js, TypeScript knowledge, that would be great. So Ivan was very key in the community projects. He was very involved in, sort of driving those projects. EO1's role in all of this has been very much the core blockchain, the Electra blockchain. It is very technical. It is developed in C++. So many people do have C++ knowledge, but they do not have a blockchain. So basically what happens is, they're different projects, and you need someone quite experienced that understands blockchain and understands the intricacies of blockchain. And that is why Electra One is leading the fork changes. And he knows all the blockchain developers. He's got the relationship with the top blockchain developers. So he is able to coordinate that, and we do trust that he would do a good job. In saying that, we do have good news in the sense that Cybot, who was a developer on the Electra project, he is the one that actually developed the Social Pay. And Social Pay is a Node.js application which you can actually download onto your personal laptop or computer, and it will integrate your desktop wallet into your Twitter account or into your Telegram account from your personal.
We may have lost you there, Ruru. Your internet connection may have died out. Are you still with us?
I am. I'm just quickly want to make sure I have covered all points. Just give me 2 seconds. Okay, so currently we do have quite a bit of few team members working on the project. We've got quite a few graphic designers and more joining every day. So graphic designers we're doing great with, and they are doing the mobile wallet and the desktop wallet. We do have a mobile back-end developer that's developing the React Native. We do have 2 back-end developers that are doing Node.js and Go development for the mobile wallet. We have, can you hear me now? Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I really do have a slow machine, so I do apologize. Okay, so we have a team of developers, blockchain developers that Electro01 is managing, and we've got Cybot that basically is joining the team. We do have a couple of developers that do come in and go, but we do have quite a few that are doing a lot of work on the projects. With the fork delay, it has delayed a lot of our development, and we do need to wait for the fork to happen. With regards to the fork, it was something not in our control. We had basically started the development, and one of the lead developers actually fell very, very ill. He was hospitalized. I can't go into much detail, but so we did have to kind of like start a bit from scratch again, and we did not know that it would be this kind of delay. But what we are doing is, as Electro01 has mentioned in Bitcoin Talk, they're doing more than one change. They're doing some upgrades. They're doing some checking. So we're doing a really good full job on the blockchain to make sure that it operates correctly. And then I think the support team needs another shout out from the development team. Often the developers are tied up doing development, and support are always there to help if I have an exchange that needs to know how to set up the wallet daemon or anything that I need. I promise you, I just have to go onto Discord and say help, and I have 3 or 4 people always helping me out. So absolute shout out to the support team. I think that's it from the development side. We all go through our ups and downs. I entered a down period recently, and but I am back. I'm here, and I'm ready to go and move this project forward. Okay, and that's all from me.
Thank you, Ruru. We're pretty much to the end, unless one of you guys that's on the call here messages here quick and lets me know that you have an update from your end. We've kind of hit the end of the agenda, which is going to be kind of Q&A time. I will say, trying to deal with the agenda as well as Discord, as well as YouTube, the engineering call questions from the questionnaire. It's a little tough to look at all of this stuff live at the same exact time, so I'm not always seeing what's going on YouTube. So if some of you guys want to try and move or get prepared to answer some questions, I'm going to go ahead and start on some of the ones that were submitted here. And bear with me because I'm kind of, reading these as I go here. Tournament thing, we kind of explained that already. Staking, this is something that we've mentioned many times, but I've seen it several times in this sheet. So I'm just going to go ahead and respond again. On the staking, and Ruru can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but my understanding is on the staking, once the new fork is there, you will now stake and gain your rewards from that stake with the new percentage that is implemented. The 50% will go away. There is no grandfathering on in the 50%. The problem is that you've got two completely separate blockchains. And once you jump from one chain to the other, it's going to listen to the commands from the new chain. So therefore, if you've been staking and waiting for your 50%, unfortunately, once you move to the new chain, it is going to reward only from the new chain. There's no, do-overs or go back or anything like that. It's just kind of a necessary evil from this, this movement. We can't really delay the movement anymore for people that are waiting on those because, supply is an issue as well. Another question people ask, is EO1 going to go public? Ruru already kind of explained that. It's really not our call to do so. Some people stay private, some people are public. It depends. There's things that, I guess we just don't even need to beat that one down anymore. It's just, there's no way for us to answer that. It's his personal choice and he'll kind of decide that. What I can tell you is if you ever have a question, he's very good about answering them. So, feel free to ask. Volunteers leaving, again, we've kind of addressed this. The volunteers, we are almost 12,000 people in Discord alone and probably approaching 30,000 total. We have a huge team. We actually have a lot of support individuals that aren't even made public, that a lot of people don't even know about. People that come in and help us here and there that do things, or they're in the background and they just don't, want to say, they don't want to be, known, I guess, or, whatever. But anyways, our team is a good, generally speaking, 75 to 100 strong. We are constantly rotating between different people on different projects and everything. People have said all kinds of, put negative spins on things. It's perception. It's how you look at things. People have left, and you know what? Kudos for them to chase their dreams. Nobody wants them to stay somewhere where they're not feeling like their best options are. So for those who are moving on, be kind, be nice to them, and support them in their decision, and others will step up. We are a community. We're constantly gaining new members. So, that's just, how these things work.
Asmoth, can I interject here? I just want to say one thing. When you join a project like this, and for whatever reason you need to step out for a brief period, or it might be family, whatever the reason may be. You might disagree with somebody. You might have a fight with someone in the community, whatever the reason may be. But understand, it doesn't mean if somebody leaves, they've left for good. They might still want to be part of the electric community. But if there is so much FUD around a person leaving and the reasons behind them leaving, when they try and come back into just Discord chat and they're not made comfortable because they're questioned about their leaving, it actually ostracizes them away from the community. We're not like that. If somebody wants to leave, they may leave. If they want to come back, they may come back. There is taking sides or looking for reasons why people are leaving. It happens. The amount of people are leaving, yes, it was quite a few people, but at the end of the day, we still have a really big, strong core team that is managing and providing feedback and moving the project forward.
That being said, there's proof right in that the fact that Cybot is back. You know, Cybot, he's been gone for a long enough period of time to where a lot of people might not even know who he is, or that he is a returning, you know, dev to this project. If somebody leaves and, you know, somebody may have just had a baby, they might have, you know, bought a new home and they got too much property to mow, whatever the case may be. Some people just don't have the allotted time, or maybe they feel like chasing their dream was a different direction for a while. If people want to come back and they have good intentions, we're a community, you know, they're going to come back. Cybot is a perfect example of that. So, anyways, moving on, there's a lot of questions about the fork, and guys, I think a lot of that is we're putting together a special doc just for that. A lot of people probably also don't realize that Electra has kind of his team, and then we have the community team. When we speak with him, a lot of times the answer will be, you guys let me know how it's going to be, for example, on the fork, and then he will support such of what is going on different things. But we, as a community, the community devs, and as a community, we are not actually programming or doing the fork itself, but he obtains our input for such. But the final call on actually how it's going to be coded is reliant on him and his team. And sometimes there has been requests that I have passed on because they sound like good ones, and because of the original delay and the fact that it would cause future delays, it simply just can't be done at that time. However, he has mentioned it's open source. We can always do this, whether it's him or somebody else. We can do more stuff in the future, but we need to get the critical things like the percentage change for our supply and everything done first. So there are two different things, and so a lot of people feel like their frustration should be directed at Electra, or maybe at the team, you know, the community team itself. In essence, sometimes that frustration is because you're gearing your questions towards the wrong people, and those need, you know, we might need to send a DM and find out some of those answers, and it might take a few days, and it might also take 2 or 3 people answering different questions to know if we're answering it, you know, entirely accurate. So anyhow, that hopefully might clear some stuff up on why sometimes questions take a little bit, or why we might not know right off the top of our head. Sometimes we do need to pose these questions to others, and then that might also rely on 2 or 3 other people answering their questions as well. So fork, it's going to be really tough. A lot of these questions cannot be answered until the fork is complete. We can't really give dates on how long till this is going to happen, or, you know, what quarter this or what quarter that, until we know that our start date, more or less, which is the start date of when the fork happens. We can't really proceed with a lot of these type of things. So it's going to be reliant on that. So we'll do the best we can to put, you know, the answers together for that. But the fork, again, we don't know the date. Electra does not know the date. They know when they're anticipating for. We've got a ballpark on when things are projected for, but as we saw with the wallet, that doesn't always work. So we just ask if you would be patient with us while that is, you know, this is a big thing. We just need some patience while this moves forward. Those are the questions I knew right off the top of my head that I saw. There are a whole bunch in here. Is anybody else skimming these and have any answers that they would like to try and give here? If not, guys, we can wrap this up. Guys, like I say, apologize. There are so many different questions, and it's hard to read through these since the form has only been out for 24 hours. There's different areas where different people need to, you know, for these questions to be directed to. We kind of need to sort through them and actually direct some of these to this person and some of these to that person, and so on and so forth. So we have a ton of questions in here. There's been some coming through YouTube as well. So I don't know that we're going to have a whole lot more for today's call, but like I say, what we will do is we will continue to work on putting together. In fact, we already discussed this before the call, knowing that there was no way we were going to be able to get to sift through all these, because some of them are very long, and we got to read through them all. So anyways, we will get to these at some point relatively soon. We will start to post information, maybe even a dynamic list where they get posted as we go, to make sure that your questions are answered. And does anybody else have anything, or are we good?
I would like to just close off with something. I've read an article the other day which kind of like tickled me as a woman. And I say this as a woman to most of the men out there, but this is something that I would like to share. It is, I'll be reading something from Catherine Nicholson. She's the CEO and founder of Block Cypher. So she talks about Bitcoin and the scaling issues of Bitcoin. There are fundamental issues that will likely never be solved, as evidenced by the 2-year debate of how to scale Bitcoin. The community is more divisive than ever. I can't help but think part of the reason it's so dysfunctional is because it's devoid of women. Women or any rational person do not want to participate in this dystopian community. It's juvenile and filled with vitriol. Bitcoin desperately needs a patroness charm, a pure, protective, magical concentration of happiness and hope. And I will close off on that and think about that. I think that we all need to think what we put out there and understand that we're all actually trying to bring cryptocurrency into mainstream. We all have the same goal and we all want to achieve that. And that's my ending statement.
Thanks, Ruru. Master Den, you have something?
Yeah, I have something to say, maybe, which is important. I see one of the questions that what is our marketing strategy and how big is the current marketing team? And this member asked us about the announcements on Discord and Telegram. Well, here's the thing. This is a community project. We are not a company. We are not workers here. We are not employees. We are all community. Like each of you, we are the same. And we are working volunteer basis. What is needed? That each community member has to work and act like a marketing officer. And because you are also a team member in this company, please do not expect everything from the team. What we try to do all the time, just contacting several companies, merchants, by using our professional business network, because our team members consist of several senior professionals, and they have decent business network, knowledge management skills, problem-solving skills, everything else. But this is not enough, because we are a community. We are more than 25,000 people here, 30,000 maybe almost. So we kind of ask each of our members to act as a marketing officer, marketing manager, whatever you call it, and just help us for the mass adaptation. This is our priority. What we look for all the time by, for example, the ATM manufacturers, the projects which we are trying to collaborate together in order to make it happen for the ECA, for Electra, that it will be globally used. Please help us help this project, because this is your project. This is not belonging to a single individual person. This is your project. Thank you, Ishmat.
Okay, if anybody else has anything, you want to go ahead and throw it in the chat there to let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to, while waiting to see if anybody has anything, I'm going to go ahead and end on the note that I just want to point out, guys, a lot of you message us, and I know me personally, a lot of people will message us and or at least message me and say, hey, I think this should be this way. And there's a lot of good, healthy discussion that starts, but it doesn't always turn out to be necessarily what you guys might have anticipated or hoped for. Please understand that we are a community, and we try to not make sole decisions off the basis of one person that might say, I think this. When you have 20, 30,000 different people, if we've got 5,000 people that are calling for something to be one way and 2 people that are calling for the other way, we can appreciate the sincere passion that you have for the coin and your belief in that your direction or thought is what you truly believe that direction should be. But we also need to maintain the respect for the fact that there are a lot of other people out there. I know a lot of you contact me, and I don't discourage that at all. In fact, I encourage it. Everybody out there that contacts me knows that they get responses from me, and I try and answer in the best of my ability. It's not always going to be what you want to hear, because we do have to represent everybody. This community is not just a coin by the people that you're hearing talking right now. This community are the people that you're in the hangout room with. It's who's on YouTube streaming right now. It's people who are even in other Discords that have invested that might not even know about our Discord. Our community is huge. If you look at some of the members that are in the other Discords, most of them don't even touch the amount of members that we have. So it can be a very difficult thing at times to, you know, quote unquote, please everybody, but we do certainly do our best. And we hope that you can appreciate the fact that we do try to do our best. It's not always going to be what you hear. It's not going to always be at the speed that you want it at, but we're just people just like you guys. We are people who believe in this project, and we've stepped up to the plate as best as we can to do our job as best as we can. There's going to be limitations. Nobody's perfect. So again, we just ask that you guys have some patience. Just, you know what? We're going to make this place great. So anyways, I don't really see anybody else having any other questions there listed. So we'll go ahead and we'll call this good. It is looking like 2041 UTC on August 1st. We will plan on 4 weeks from today. Will actually be the last Wednesday of August, considering it is a full 4 weeks away. Let's go ahead and plan on that. So August 29th at 1930 UTC will be our next engineering call. We appreciate all of you for stopping by. Please continue to submit your questions, and thanks everybody for being a part of the community.